Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My dear students, this is lecture number 5. This lecture talks about the process of placing or assigning stress on the correct syllable in English words. If you remember, in lecture number 4, we talked about stress, prominence, strong and weak syllables, and what are the factors that make a syllable strong. Today, we are going to talk about how to give stress to the correct position or the correct syllable. Actually, if we talk about English in particular, we should admit that the task of assigning stress to the correct syllable is not an easy task at all. Why? Simply because in English, the position of stress is not fixed. It is changeable. So we cannot give a rule, for example, saying, okay, always give stress to the first syllable, or put stress on the second syllable, or the third, etc. No, any one of the syllables in a multi-syllabic word can attract the stress. So this is actually the basic source of difficulty in talking about or in assigning stress to the correct syllable in an English word. Okay? So, for example, any syllable in a multi-syllable word, and a multi-syllable word means a syllable that has, a word that has 3, 4, 5, 6 syllables. Okay? Can attract the stress in English, and being stressed is not an inherited feature to any syllable. So it's not a fixed feature that in the first syllable in a word that it is stressed always. No, or the second is always stressed. Any one of the syllables can be stressed. So there are rules, and I hope when I explain these rules, they would be helpful to you in assigning stress to the correct syllable in an English word. So to explain, if we take a word of 4 syllables, for example, any of the 4 syllables can take the primary stress. It could be the first that is stressed, it could be the second, it could be the third, and it could be the fourth. In several other languages, the stress is fixed. That is, it is always on the same syllable. But unfortunately, this is not the case in English. In English, let's start with some examples on languages in which stress position is always the same. It is fixed. In French, for example, the last syllable is usually stressed. So whenever you have a French word to stress, go to the last syllable and give a stress. So easy. So any French word is directly and easily stressed on the final syllable. The same is true in Polish, where the syllable before the last, it is not the last one, the one before the last. We call it the antepenultimate. It is usually stressed. While in Czech, the first syllable is stressed. So in French, the final, in Polish, the one before the final, but in Czech, it is the first one that is always stressed. So in these languages, the position of the stress is always the same. It is fixed on a specific syllable. And this can be easily done by knowing one rule. Okay, in French, go to the last syllable and stress it. This is the only rule that you need. But in English, it is not the case. It is a free position. So any one of the syllables we have in a word can take the stress. So, one suggestion given by some scholars is that in order to master the process of stress assignment or stress placement, learners should learn the position of stress in each word as they learn it. So whenever you come across a new word, an English word, you directly go and check where the stress is and you memorize it. You learn it by heart. Now, is this suggestion a good one? This is the question. So some scholars suggest that the position of stress in English words should be learned or learned for each word individually. So whenever you know a new word, you go and check the position of stress and you memorize it. But this is not possible, or actually it is impossible. There are reasons why learning the position of stress for English words is not a good idea. The first one is that we have thousands of English words. Actually, English is or has a very long list of words. You can check it by going to any dictionary of English and see the huge number of words we have in this list. So is it practical to go and learn each and every word of these? It's totally impossible. It's totally impossible. Another reason why this is not a good idea is that in English, new words are being created. New words are coined every day. Every single day, we have new English words added to the dictionary. So we should be updating ourselves every day on the new words that are created and added to the dictionary of English. And this is also impossible. And if anybody tries to do so, he would spend a lot of time and effort. It is tiring. You will get tired because of following newly created words. This is also impossible because any new word has its own stress pattern, and you should know and learn that pattern for each and every word that is created. And this is also impossible. Another reason, word stress may change. When the word is used in connected speech, it has a stress pattern that is different from the one it has when it is pronounced alone. So words that are pronounced alone may change their stress pattern. For example, alone, the word is when we pronounce it individually, alone, in isolation, it has the stress on the first syllable. But when it goes into connected speech, the position of stress may change and be the second or the third, because in connected speech, words affect each other. So this is another problem. So it adds to the difficulty because you need to know when the word is stressed alone and when the stress is pronounced in connected speech. And this is also very difficult. Now, the fourth reason why learning stress for English words by heart is not a good idea is that there are words that have more than one correct stress position. There are words that might be stressed on the first syllable if it is treated, for example, as a verb, or on the second if it is treated as an adjective, and so on. So this is also a problematic issue in learning stress by heart, because you should go and check whether the word is verb, noun, or adjective, because some of the words in English may be stressed in more than one way. Okay, the stress may be given to more than one syllable. So this is also a problem. So why learning stress for English words by heart is not a good idea? Because of the huge number of words you have in English, because new words are created every day. Stress may change when the word is alone in comparison when the word is in connected speech. And the last reason is that we have words in English that may be stressed on different syllables depending on certain factors. Now let's talk about the factors that decide which syllable is to be stressed in a word. These are the factors that should be taken into consideration when we stress a word. The first one is the morphological structure of the word. And when we talk about morphology, we mean the internal structure of the word. How many morphemes do we have in the word? Which of the morphemes is bound? Which of the morphemes is free morpheme? Do we have a fixation? I mean, do we have prefixes? Do we have suffixes to the word? This is an important factor, and we are going to deal with these factors in details with examples. The second factor is the grammatical category of the word. Is the word a noun, verb, adjective? So there are rules for stressing words and different rules, rules for stressing nouns and different rules for stressing verbs and adjectives. So we need to know what is the grammatical category of the word we are dealing with. I mean, which part of speech it belongs to. The third factor is that the number of syllables we have in a word. If a word is monosyllabic, it is always easy to give stress because we have one syllable, we give it stress and that's all. Sometimes we have two syllables, so we have two options, 3 syllables, 3 options, 4 syllables, 4 options. So the number of syllables is very important. And the last but not the least important, actually it is the most important factor, which is the phonological structure of the syllable. What is the structure of the rhyme? Don't forget, when we talked about stress, we are after the structure of the rhyme, not the structure of the onset. The structure of the onset, whether we have consonants before the vowel, whether we don't have, whether there is 1, 2, 3, it doesn't matter. It makes no difference. Actually, what is more important is the structure of the rhyme. Do we have what kind of vowel we have? Do we have consonants after the vowel or not? Okay? These factors actually are now we are going to give you some examples or tips, pieces of advice on how to organize syllables from strong to weak. I think I have talked about this before, but it's okay if we review it a little bit more quickly. So a rhyme with a long vowel, diphthong, triphthong, with coda or without coda is the strongest structure. But don't forget, long vowel without coda is weaker than a long vowel with coda. So the more structure, the more strength we have. Okay? Then we have rhymes with short vowels, like E, O, or E, followed by at least one consonant. This is less strong, but still strong. This is the second degree. Actually, there are degrees in the middle. Okay? Another syllable structure with one vowel, like schwa, E, or U, they are considered weak. But again, schwa is the weakest sound. E plus a consonant is stronger than E without a consonant. U with consonant is stronger than U without a consonant. And all of these are stronger than the schwa. Okay? These are some tips for you to how to decide based on the phonological structure of the syllable. So for example, if we have a word with 2 syllables, the first one has the vowel A and the second one has the vowel I, definitely the vowel I will attract the stress, not E, not A, because this is stronger. In the coming lectures, inshallah, we are going to talk about these factors in details. We are going to give more examples, and we will talk about syllabification, stress placement rules in more details. Thank you very much. I wish to see you all in good health.